All righty. Good evening, everyone. We are going to talk about saving money with the Thermomix tonight. Lots of talking, not quite as much making making any dishes tonight, although I do have cream to make some butter. But I wanted to talk through all the different ways that Thermomix can help you save money. So one of the big things that not a lot of people think about is actually meal planning. And with Cookie Do, with the TM6, and you can use Cookie Do with the 31, the 5, and the 6 for meal planning, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, on the 31, you can't have the recipe on the screen. However, you can read the recipe off your iPad or your phone or your laptop. So meal planning is a big thing, especially with Cookie Do. You can actually go down and look at what ingredients you've got in your pantry and find different recipes to use. Now, a few other things. Actually, let me just bring up. Let's go share screen. Because I actually brought up, hang on Cookie Do. There we go. Share. So if everyone can see Cookie Do there. So I have changed my Cookie Do up in my profile. If everybody knows how to do this, you actually go in and change your language to English and your country to all, because then you actually, when you start exploring, you actually get 10,000 recipes instead of 3,000. Which is what you get when you log in under your Australian cookiedo.com.au login. So some of the biggest savings are right here on our first page even. So your pizza dough. So you can make your own pizza dough for less than $1. And with toppings that you've already got in the fridge, you're going to save a fortune, because even with your Domino's $5 pizza, you're still going to save money on that. And 99.9% of the time, it's a heck of a lot more than $5 a pizza. Then you've got your veggie stock paste. So normally when we do a delivery, we make our veggie stock paste as the recipe says, but every time that you make it after that, you can just make it with anything that goes that's going off in your fridge. So some of my friends actually, every time a veggie is going off in the fridge and they haven't found a use for it, stick it in a bag or a container, stick it in the freezer. And then when you've actually got enough items, off veggies that are in your freezer, you just pull them out the freezer and away you go. And make your veggie stock. So veggie stock lasts 6 months in the freezer. And if you make it from just whatever veggies you've got to hand, plus 150 grams of salt and a tablespoon of olive oil, how cheap's that? It was stuff that, was going off anyway. And then we also have, you can actually type in, I went to the filters and I actually typed in saving. So you've got money saving and time saving. So if you actually click on both, so money saving, you've got like 2,300 recipes. So one of the big things, so I'm just going to talk through tonight. One of the big things, of course, is your fake away. And actually, let me go back. You can actually type in tags and you can type in fake away. So you've got, there we go, 191 results. So, your naan breads, your garlic naan, your tortillas, even guacamole from a Mexican restaurant is expensive. All sorts of stuff there. Lots and lots of ideas. Highly recommend the Jeera rice, Jeera. That is beautiful. So I'll take that away and we'll go back to saving. So money saving and time saving. So things that I've actually written down. So Fruity Dream, so things like ice cream and Fruity Dream, you're going to save yourself a fortune making your own. I have got bread, scrolls and rolls. So even just a Vegemite scroll from, or Cheddarmite scroll from Baker's Delight is a few dollars. You can make 12 of them for less money than it takes you to make, to buy one. So scrolls and rolls, dips, all your favorite dips, you can make them yourself for less money. Homemade Christmas gifts. So you can make a whole stack of Christmas gifts and save a fortune. There's actually a Facebook page that is Thermomix Gift Ideas, I think it's called. So you can join that and get some ideas from them as well. So fake away your pizza dough. Like I said, it's $1, less than $1 to make your pizza dough. Grating your cheese, milling your cheese yourself. You buy the block and you just mill as much as you need at the time rather than buying it by the bag. Making crackers. Now, I'm not sure if everybody has seen. So you can make a cheese platter and you can make quince paste, pear paste, plum paste. So I just make my pastes whenever things are in season. So quinces are in season in April, right around Anzac Day for about a month or so. So then, you know, yet again, saving money, you buy things when they're in season. And then you make your pastes. I wrap my quince paste in baking paper. You can actually, and stick it in the fridge and it lasts for ages. You can wrap things up in Glad wrap and put them in the freezer and they last for ages. So crackers. So I have made a few of these crackers and they're so easy to make, and that most of them are from dry ingredients that you will have in your cupboard anyway. So then you've already spent the money, it's sitting in your cupboard, so it's costing you nothing. Instead of, you know, a $5.50 packet of biscuits for those, you know, those really lovely ones with the the pumpkin seeds and the cranberry or the apricot, that sort of stuff. There's actually recipes. I'll have to find the one that I've got. There's actually recipes for those that you can make your own instead of spending all that money. Then you can actually make your own cheese. So, halloumi. Oh, no. Oh, there you go. Halloumi. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of money saving. Let's type in halloumi again. You can make your own halloumi. All you need, full cream milk, 4 junket tablets, filtered water, and non-iodized salt. Junket tablets. Woolies and Coles, easy as. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there's enough there to make 3 lots of halloumi. And so you've got 2 liters of milk. You can buy milk when it's on special. And you've got your junket tablets. You can make your own halloumi. You can make your own ricotta. Ricotta. There you go, homemade ricotta. And that only takes milk and vinegar. How cheap's that? Especially if you get the milk on sale. And then what's the other one that I've got? Halloumi, ricotta. And things like you can make your own condensed milk. and butters and nut butters. So you save a fortune on that. So what I'll do in a minute is I will make butter, but let's have a look at the other things that we can do. Please speak up if you've got questions or if you've got any ideas of things that we can do to save money. So yogurt, making your own yogurt, making your own ice cream, making your own cakes and smoothies, especially smoothies. They're absolutely god-awful expensive. Let's type in smoothie. So your size smoothie bowls, your milkshakes, all sorts of protein shakes. That's the other thing. You can make protein balls and protein bars, and that will save you an absolute fortune. Milkshakes, spirulina, all sorts of things. Oh, what's that? No, there is a coffee with I'm having trouble thinking about it, but that's all right. It has coffee, and then it has your whipped cream on top, and it's really nice. So milling. So at 8:30, Claire's going to come on and talk us through some doing your different milks and stuff like that, and ideas for saving money to do that. Now, another big thing, cocktails. Cocktail can cost you $20 a drink or more at a pub, which is nuts, when you can buy, you know, a whole bottle of alcohol for $50 and get about 20 cocktails out of it. So that is huge. All right, so I'm just about out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip it down and make our butter. Just need my butterfly. So all you need is your butterfly. You need whipping cream. Don't even try to make butter from double cream. Not going to work. You need your whipping cream. I either buy the Harvey Fresh or the Browns. The Browns one is white with a blue writing, or the Harvey Fresh is this red one. Just buy the whipping cream. A lot of people I see buy it on special. Now, things that you can do is actually buy the cream and then make it into butter, and then you can freeze the butter, or you can actually freeze the cream and then make butter later, or use the cream later. So if you get things on special, same as milk, I know people freeze milk as well when they want it for stuff, when they get it on sale. So what I am going to do, I will actually look up butter in cookie dough. However, what you can do is just do it as you go. So I'm going to type in butter. There's butter there. So the instructions are, insert the butterfly whisk, put the cream in, beat for 1 to 3 minutes, speed 4. Now, the reason it's 1 to 3 minutes is that if it's a fresher cream, like a newer cream, it takes longer to turn into butter. If it's older cream, it actually takes a shorter amount of time.
Excuse me, Lisa, can you stop the screen share so we can see you?
Oh,
thanks.
Crap. Sorry, thank you. Thank you. Good. Thank you, Liz. Excellent. Yes, whipping cream, Harvey Fresh, the red with the white, or you get the Browns, which is white with the blue. So I've typed in butter, and you can follow the recipe. However, you can just pop it in. So it says put the butterfly whisk in, and whip it until you can actually hear, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it on Zoom, you can actually hear the clunk when the butter and the buttermilk separate. Now, it's great saving, so cream and everything and butter is quite expensive at the moment, but the real saving is in the buttermilk because you can use the buttermilk. It's quite expensive just to buy buttermilk. And you can use it in scones, pancakes, all sorts of baking, things like that. So what I'm going to do, I will press start cooking and set the butterfly whisk. So as we know, we have our 4 blades. This one is, that one is the highest blade. You pop it to the left of the highest blade. There we go, turn it a little bit left and see I'm pulling it and it's locked in. That's the best way to put it in. However, a lot of the time you'll be putting the butterfly in when there's food in there. So the best guess is good enough, but so long as you put it in, twist it a little bit to the left and just make sure it's secure. Okay, so 600 grams of pure cream. That's groovy, but I'm just going to use whatever's left over in here, which is not 600 grams. Because I used it the other day for our macarons. So you can just put in what you have and what you need. So 223. Insert measuring cup. And next, so it says 1 minute, speed 4. But what I'm actually going to do, even though you're following a recipe, you still have control of the recipe, the time, the temperature, and the speed if you're confident enough in your cooking. So I'm actually going to take it up to 4 minutes because it could take as long as 4 minutes, but I'm betting that it won't. And so I will just stop it when I hear the clunk. So then we go to speed 4. Whoop. If I did that, we'll go to speed 4. So what it will do first, obviously, if you want whipped cream, just always be careful that you don't whip your cream past 1 minute because you will turn it into butter. One of the groovy things, if you actually do, if you want to do herb and garlic butter, you actually chop the garlic and the herbs first and then put the cream in, and it creates herb and garlic butter straight away. And then, like I said before, you can actually just, you can wrap it into Glad wrap, into a log and stick it in the freezer if you don't need it straight away. Now, I don't know if you can hear that. Sometimes Zoom cuts off sound. So that's nearly a minute now. So it might be a little bit longer than that. And oh, so it's starting to sound, starts to sound jaggedy. I'll show you that now. Other things you can do is you can make it into spreadable butter. So don't use, oh, there you go. There we go, we've separated. There you go. So for spreadable butter, don't use olive oil. It's better to use a non-flavored oil, such as grapeseed oil or rice bran oil. So what we do once it's separated, we want to tip out our first lot of buttermilk into a container, because yet again, like I said, it's that's the good stuff. And then, like I said, you either keep it in the fridge or you can freeze it for later use. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to wash the butter. The old wives' tale that I heard was each time you wash the butter, so if you wash the butter once, it'll last a week. Wash it twice, it'll last 2 weeks in the fridge. wash 3 times, 3 weeks. But of course, that's an old wives' tale. So we'll take that under advisement. So there is our butter. It's going to say, remove butterfly whisk. Using the simmering basket, strain the whisk liquids from the solids, reserving the buttermilk for later. So I will do that. Let us tip that down. Turn that around so you can see what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to put that in there. And then all we do is just press it out. Oh. Now you also want your cream to be cold, and you want your water that you're going to wash the butter with to be cold, because the warmer the the warmer the cream is, the more squishy it is, and you're not going to get as good a quality result. So then all I'm going to do is pop this back in. I'm going to tip that out. Pop that back in, because it says add 500 grams of chilled water. So mine's semi-chilled. So I'm going to put about that much in. Next, add the butter solids. I've already done that. Insert the measuring cup. Pop it in. So 5 seconds, speed 4. Okay, so that's one wash. So liquids and solids should separate again. Now, every time you do that from now on, you don't want to keep the liquid. You only want to keep the first lot of buttermilk. You do not want to keep any of this washing water, because all you're doing is cleaning the butter. I'm going to do that. You'll see that. And then pop it back in. You can actually just do it in the bowl itself rather than using the basket. Up to you. And then you can just put it in and wash it again and again. So I have found that, I can't remember the exact numbers, but a whole carton of 600 mils ends up with about, I think it's about 250 grams of butter and about similar of buttermilk. So that's your big savings there. So use a simmering basket, strains so that only the butter remains. Roll it into a sausage shape to make butter rounds, and then use as needed. So there are other things, you know, you can buy butter bells, which are French, where you put the butter in and then you put it in to the bell and the water is in there. That keeps it from the butter from going rancid, and you could leave it on your bench, or you can stick it in the fridge or the freezer like we discussed. And then finish. Then you can do all your flavored butters and freeze them as needed. You can do your garlic butter. So you could make, say, baguettes for not a lot of money, make garlic butter and do that rather than pay a whole stack of money to buy garlic bread. Any questions so far? Nope. Okay. So then there's also a lot of fake away things that you can make. Obviously, I talked about your naan breads. You can do, there's a sticky sesame chicken recipe. There's non-fried fried rice. You know, all sorts. Yeah, sweet and sour chicken. all that sort of stuff. And the other thing that you can make as well, so pastes, such as your Thai green curry paste, your tandoori paste, red curry paste, all that sort of stuff. And what it is it'll make, say, one portion that you would buy from the shops and have to use. But what you do, let's do the tandoori paste, for example. Make the tandoori paste. It actually, if you separate it into 90-gram lots, you would actually have 7 or 8 portions in your freezer for not a lot of money at all. And 90 grams is what goes into your creamy coconut chicken curry, or 80 grams goes into masala bread rolls, which is bread rolls with tandoori paste in it. So then you actually have a paste that you know exactly what's in it in your freezer, ready to go at any time. So you can do that for any of your curry paste or your chili paste or anything like that. And I had a thought. What else? Oh, pancakes, nut butters, smoothies, cakes. Also, just going into your cupboard, finding a couple of ingredients, typing them into Cookie Doo, and it will tell you what recipes you can use, because we've all got stuff in our cupboard that we haven't used for ages, and we'd actually save ourselves a fortune if we use them. So then the other thing, milling. So if you were to want to make some shortbread, and rather than buying rice flour, you can actually just get white rice out of the pantry, mill it on speed 10 for 2 minutes, and you've got rice flour ready to go. Same with almonds to almond meal, dried soybeans to soy flour, chickpeas to chickpea flour. But double check your prices, because the other day I actually found on the almond meal on special at Woolies that was cheaper per kilo than almonds. So it just depends, especially at the moment where prices are fluctuating for things. Do you have any other suggestions, Liz, of things that you can do to save money? Not there. Pesto, make your own pesto. That would necessitate, of course, actually being able, so if you had basil in your garden, especially, same with if you had, there's Claire now. So yeah, anything you've got in your garden especially will save you money if you think of things to make from that.
I do my dried herbs. I dry them and then can mill them, like rosemary and that sort of thing. When I've got lots of rosemary, lots of basil, parsley, I just dry it and then whip it up.
And then, yeah, and use it. That's fantastic. That's a good idea. You can also buy containers. I don't know where I put one, where you can actually put it into little pots and put a bit of oil in it as well, and stick it in the freezer. And you don't need to buy, if you're going to dry stuff out, you don't even need to buy an expensive dehydrator. A lot of the time you can find instructions just to dry things out in the oven. I actually did get a dehydrator though for like $20 when there was a store that had a sale, and I've used, that's the other thing I made with the dehydrator. All I did was puree strawberries when they were on sale, and I put on the dehydrator just a thin layer of strawberries, and I'd made my own roll-ups, which is fantastic. They were Beautiful. Absolutely great. Hi, Claire. You had a few things that you were going to share with us tonight.
Hello, Lisa. Hello, everyone. How you going? I will put my camera on.
All right.
Hopefully the right way around. Hello. A little bit dark in here.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Replace spotlight. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
No worries.
Yes, so something that I found with the Thermomix is that I like to use nut milks. And one of the things that I found is that they, cost anywhere between $2 and $5 for the nut milk, and also the almond meal is anywhere a kilo between $16 and $25. So I found by making my own that I cut the cost, but I also know what's in it as well. So, and also because it's only me sometimes having it, I find if I buy a carton of almond milk or any kind of milk, I don't get through it, so I throw most of it away. So I get to just make what I need, and obviously the luxury with the Thermomix, you can do that and work what you need. And then also with the almond meal, you can use it in cereals or protein bars or protein balls. There's lots of things that you can do with it. And also with, like what Lisa was saying, with the dehydrator as well, you can, then with the pulp, you can actually spread it out in the dehydrator, or if you don't have that, the oven at a low temperature, and then you've made your own almond meal as well and got something out of it. So the next time that you need to use that, I've also found recently the coconut milk as well. You're just using your desiccated coconut, about 300 grams with water, and doing the same process as you would with the nut bags. And and with the nuts, and also I don't know what everyone else uses, but I used to use quite a few different nut bags, but I found when I do my vegetable juices, they stained a lot. So I also use cheesecloth and just pop that in the steamer basket and can run it through there. So you're not using such an expensive item, because cheesecloth is quite cheap at around $7 a metre. I usually buy it from Spotlight. So they're my little tips and tricks. But there's so much that when you go into cookie dough that you can actually find different ways to do different things, and by the one product, you can get so much more out of it, even down to rice flour. So, just having rice in the cupboard to be able to then make up any rice flour that you want. I use, and with my plain flour, I just have plain flour and make my own self-raising flour. So I've only got, the main flour in the house, and then you've got many uses for it. So that's a few hints and tips. So back to you, Lisa.
Awesome, cool, thank you, that's fantastic. And with the almond meal as well, you can actually make lots of baking as well, not just the protein balls and stuff. There's actually it's called a caprese, which is a gluten-free chocolate cake, which is in the basic cookbook, has been for years and years and years, and that uses almond meal as well. So you can make your almond milk and then use the almond meal. Oh, and someone suggested to me once as well to use the almond meal as a pizza base if you're gluten-free. And that's the other thing that can make huge savings if you are gluten-free. There's so many things that you can make with the Thermomix a heck of a lot cheaper, because poor people who eat gluten-free get charged like Renda bulls at the shops for breads and all that sort of stuff. One really good idea for gluten-free stuff is to use your Brazilian cheese puff recipe and use the liquid, put it on your fry pan, and you actually make wraps. You can make wraps out of your Brazilian cheese puff mixture. So that can save a lot of money if you're gluten-free as well. Awesome. What else? So a great homemade Christmas gift is making your own. So I've made White Christmas. You can make your gingerbread stuff. You can make your own. What's the whiskey and cream? Baileys. Make your own homemade Baileys, which is quite lovely. And if you actually get it out of your house and into other people's houses before you drink it all, then that's probably a good thing. What else? Has anybody else made gifts for Christmas?
I put fudge, chutneys, jams.
Yes. Bacon jam.
Cake, shortbread, Christmas cakes that I make individually in those little the little pots you get the gone middle blank, the tomato dip thing out of their little ceramic pots you buy.
Oh, I know, the goat's cheese.
Oh,
is delicious.
Yeah,
little cement, little pottery.
And I bought all them in the second-hand shop for 50 cents each, and I've got a dozen of them, and I make a dozen Christmas cakes using the Christmas cake recipe of Cookie Dough and do them individually and then wrap them up as part of my Christmas hampers.
That's good. That's good. And that's the other thing, you know, jams. You just buy the fruit when it's in season and it's super cheap, and you can make a bunch of jams. And so long as you do the proper preserving thing,
water bake,
that's it. You can, you know, then share them at Christmas time without spending a stack of money on things that are not in season. Like I said, ice creams before. You can make your own caramel. You can actually make your own choc magic, you know, where you pour it onto the ice cream and it solidifies. You can make that. You can so condensed milk I mentioned before, nut butters. What else?
Icing sugar, from sugar to icing sugar is good if you run out.
Yep. So you can just buy the upper ingredient, and then you can either mill it or, you know, depending on what you need from the ingredient, you only need to buy the one thing. So then you're saving on money and also on packaging. That's the other thing that we're all trying to be so much better at, saving on packaging as well. And like Claire said, if you just make the amount of almond milk or oat milk that you need, because she and I were discussing today that if you buy a litre, sometimes you don't use it all. And she mentioned before, and some things you can buy the little, what are they made? 250 ml.
Yeah.
But then, you know, you're buying 4 of those, and it's the packaging that you're wasting, and the money as well. So you can just make what you need when you need it. Anybody else?
The coconut milk. What I've learned, I have a customer that uses coconut milk quite a bit. So I just did a bit of research on Cookie Dough, and the coconut milk, the pulp from that, if you dehydrate it or with a machine or in the oven, can be milled to make coconut flour.
Oh.
So and I've for a little while now I've wondered you know, because obviously with the rice and, you know, the flour and that, sometimes you might only need a little bit of coconut fat. It's not something you would use all the time. But if you've made, but having desiccated coconut in the cupboard, you pretty much, you know, if you do a few little sweet dishes, you're going to have that there. The fact that it can make the milk and then make the pulp, which goes into, can even go into cakes and different things, but can then actually be dried and made into flour. I thought I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah, and other things, I just remembered there's actually a cookbook / collection in Cookie Dough that is more food, less waste. And you can make a pasta dish with just the spines of your silver beet. There's a carrot top pesto. There's like all sorts of things that you wouldn't think of using. Broccoli stalks or broccoli stems have actually got recipes that you can use those. So then you're not wasting half of your broccoli. What else? Jenny, was it you talking about
banana
cauliflower
skins.
leaves? Yes, banana skins. Use your banana skins in, what was it, cupcakes? Muffins?
Cupcakes and muffins I make, yeah. But I'm not sure whether it was Cookie Dough that I found that, but yeah.
Yeah, in Google, yeah. And there's also, you can actually use the banana skins as fake, hang on. Let me just share the screen again because I don't want to say the wrong thing. No. Skin. No. It's actually within. Let's come out of that. Let me actually go to collections and filter for English. No, for Australia. So I'll be able to find, there you go, less waste, more food. So carrot top pesto that I talked about, no waste veggie bolognese. There's the silver beet and mushroom pasta. Oh, there you go, vegan pulled pork. Actually uses banana peel. So you can make your banana bread and then make vegan pulled pork with the peels as well. And that's the other thing, you can make your own barbecue sauce, you can make your own tomato sauce. The handy hint for people who have other humans in their house is that you keep the original container that you would have used with your either your tomato sauce, your barbecue sauce, your Nutella, your peanut butter, and you put the homemade ingredient in the container that they're used to seeing it in. And then after a while, they'll just get so used to it, they won't even realize that it wasn't store-bought, which is pretty cool. What else? Anybody else has any ideas?
What I've done when you've made butter, sometimes if you need cream, I don't think it was a Cookie Dough recipe, it was a community one. I've gone from butter back to cream. You can reverse it.
Oh.
If you want just a small amount of cream, but you haven't got any, which is what happened to me, I went from butter back to cream. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I hadn't heard of that before.
I did save the recipe. I can go and have a look. I think it's in on. Well, I save everything Paprika, but I think it was on the recipe community. But I'll have a look while we're doing this. And also the banana peel recipe is a Cookie Dough recipe.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they're biscuits.
Excellent.
Yeah,
biscuits. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so you can use so many different parts of things that you'd never thought before that you could use, which is very cool. Does anybody else have any saving ideas that they've used before? No, cool. That's all right. Well, I hope that this was helpful to everybody tonight. Not so much cooking, but lots and lots of ideas, especially so you can, save an absolute fortune, even if you just, instead of getting takeaway, you make fake away one night a week. Even things like burgers, pizza, all that sort of stuff. And if you've got time, so with bread, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you. With bread, if you make your bread rolls or make some burger rolls, just make sure that you freeze it the day that you make it, because Thermomix bread has no preservatives. If you freeze it straight away, then it's going to be fresh when you take it back out of the freezer. So there's another cost-saving thing. Make 12 bread rolls. Say you only use 4, stick the rest in the freezer, then you can grab them out as you need them if you're making either lunches or burgers or anything like that. Mincing your own meat as well can save you a fortune, because as we know, the mince in the shops has a lot of water content, whereas if you mince your own meat, it's all meat. So what you do, the handy hints for making your own mince, is you cut the beef, chicken or pork or lamb into pieces that big, freeze it for an hour, because you get a better quality result if you've partially frozen it, and then either just follow the recipe, or you can turbo a couple of times and you've made your own mince, which is fantastic. Yeah, I think I've possibly run out of money saving ideas, although I am absolutely sure there are many, many, many more.
And I think there's the, not that I've tried them yet, but the sausages. There is a collection on making sausages, and you can buy the piece at the mix shop as well. So that's, so if you ever want to make your own sausages, there's a collection for that. And yeah, so endless things.
And you'll actually know what's in it.
Yes, very
as
important.
well. Yes. Yeah. Cool. All right. Anyone? Anything else? Any ideas? Well, I hope we've inspired you tonight with some ideas that you can do. I am going to challenge myself over the school holidays to make some things out of tins and packets that I've got in my pantry, that how you think, oh yes, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that, and then you never actually get around to it. One of them is actually, I've got polenta in my cupboard, and I keep meaning to make the rosemary and thyme polenta chips. So I think they will be fantastic. And then, I'll see what else I can find. If anybody has anything that they want to challenge me to make, or give some suggestions for things that we can make next week as well, please speak up. We're always looking for lots of suggestions. We want to change it up and do different things each time. We'll probably do a main meal next week, because I've done quite a bit of dessert recently. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for coming along. And we've kept it under an hour. Awesome.
Thanks, Lisa. Good tips.
Thank you. And if you want to share with your friends, it will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow. As soon as I get up and caffeinate in the morning, I will transfer it over to YouTube so that everyone can watch as well. Awesome. And invite your friends next time, because you can be in the running for host rewards if you just invite 2 other people along to sit on their couch and watch us cook things, and you can get host rewards. All righty. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for coming along. And come along next Thursday, 8 p.m. We'll be here.
Thanks, Lisa. Good night, everyone.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.